helping them break through barriers. So for Ruchi ma'am, it feels like she's made, it her mission to create opportunities for women to lead and succeed in every area of life. Through her work, she's a role model for countless women, showing us how to step up, overcome this, and build confidence. So today we are diving into a topic that is so important, which is women in leadership, breaking barriers and inspiring change. Well, in this session, we will explore how to overcome the challenge women face in leadership and building confidence and influence as a leader taking action. So, this is going to be an interactive discussion, and we encourage everyone to share their thoughts and experience. So, Ruchi ma'am will lead us in this conversation, and let's start the exciting discussion and hear each other's ideas and questions on this topic. Let's make this collaborative and inspiring session for all. So, Ruchi ma'am, you have built such an incredible journey as a leader and advocate for women in the workforce. So, what do you think is the biggest barrier that women face in leadership today, and how can we start helping them overcome it?
Challenges start ho jate hain the day we are born. And I think all the women over here, they will actually understand what I'm saying. So when we are just little kids,
Да, и сега ова ќе те подсети, знаеш, кога ќе треба да
I couldn't understand. I think the language was a little different.
We do not understand the language.
Ye-
Yeah, this
Yes.
session will
Hi,
be.
I'm sorry.
So that's fine.
So yeah, tell me.
Yes, I'm Makedonka from Macedonia, from Europe. Sure, I agree with you that we should start with the basics and who women are anthropologically and what are we or what can we do with ease and what are the things that we do with ease. And I think if we nurture down in the essence of the nature who we are, then we can improve the position of the women in any pore of the society. It doesn't matter which role we commit to. And I believe that how women are looked at in different parts of the world, this is also due to cultural differences, to traditions, and this is also different and differs from society to society. But again, if we are genuinely found in a position that is suitable, related to our character, to our nature, to what we know best, then we can be equal with anybody. And at this point, I don't recognize female and male leadership, but only leadership. If we find ourselves in a position that we really have the power and the strength, looking at what we know, how much we learned in the past, and what are the know-hows we can transfer to our team. I think this is the core of the leadership.
And as Magadonka has said that the cultural differences are there. So I just want to shed some light over here. See, it's not only about India or about any specific place. Even in Europe, in times, around 50 years ago, 60 years ago, girls were nourished exactly according to one single goal that they have to get the best groom. They tight fitted clothes, everything as according to a specific standard. In the same way, over here in India, girls, when they are born, they are raised with only one single purpose in mind. And even the parents have accepted that okay, she has to get married, she has to bear children, she has to take care of home. Other than that, nobody even thinks that she can do anything better than that. So that's the kind of mindset that is there in every household. So the first thing we need to do when it comes to talking about leadership, leadership needs confidence, and confidence building is done at home. So from the time a girl is born into a home, we'll have to give her an atmosphere where that confidence is built and future leaders are actually made. So we have to start from the roots. We have to start from the basics. Ruth, do you want to say something about this?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just joined the meeting, so thank you so much. I'm listening attentively.
Anybody else wants to add something to this? Dr. Rajesh, I haven't seen you.
Yes, Ruchi, you are right. Whatever you're saying, girls are raised as per specific standards, and preconditioning has been made, in the minds of the girls as well as boys. That even boys have that kind of conditioning, and girls also, they are raised as per these conditionings. So that is why a gender bias is being made, and we are not able to, come up to those standards. As we become adults, then somewhere we suppress our emotions, and suppress our desire to do something which we want to do and are not able to do according to those societal standards. It's a difficult situation. Yet those who have, come up, of difficulties, even though they become popular because of their status or whatever, but still they are facing struggles in their occupations or whatever they're doing.
Very true. If I share my story, see, I was born into a lower middle class family, and that too a Rajput family over here. So, in our caste, in our culture, girls are normally traditionally brought up to just do household chores and bear children and do everything. And I was the revolting child of the family. So I had to do something else. I was not interested in household chores and black sheep of the family kind of. So from my childhood, I had that interest in studies and science, and not only in science. I was studying literature. I was studying Vedic literature too, from Shakespeare to Rabindranath Tagore. I have read everything. So all those kind of things made me a person which didn't fit into the normal uh, thought process of the society. A girl cannot be like this. A girl, if she's coming back from school, then she has to come home and see work with the mother, help her mother in the. And I was not like that. So I had to face hundreds of challenges and problems. My own mother was had labeled me as, "अरे ये तो आवारा है, ये तो हमारा है, ये पता नहीं क्या करें, कैसे इसको कंट्रोल करेंगे, पापा से बातें करते हैं, कैसे कंट्रोल करेंगे इसको." But then that's the kind of adversity you have to face. All those challenges आपको करना पड़ता है, फेस करना पड़ता है, सुननी पड़ती है लोगों की, और उसके बावजूद भी वो you have to be determined. You have to fuel your determination actually every single day, because there are always moments of self doubt, and skeptic people are skeptical. And then being a science student, that too in finance, then when I came into the fintech industry, financial industry, so the mindset of people is that women don't know finances. Women and finances are two different poles. And it was all fintech, science and finance. So it was a deadly combination. And people were like, "Kya cheez hai ye?" People judge you. When I was just 25 or maybe 26, and we had a meeting with the clients, and the meeting got over, and the first question of the prospective client or partner was, are you married? What is the relationship between I being married and I working with you? But there is a specific way people think about women who are not those normal women doing only work at home. So they think, अरे ये तो मतलब available है. That kind of mindset, that kind of concept. And I have personally faced it, from last 25 years. I mean, I'm 48 now, and still when a client is coming on the call for the first time and he doesn't know me personally, तो मुझे problem होगा, because I know उसके बाद message आएगा एक LinkedIn पे. So that's the kind of mindset people are having. And those are the challenges that you have to face every single day when you are a woman and you are in business and you are at a place where you have to deal with hundreds of people in a day.
I would also like to add one thing that I remember you posted on LinkedIn about the imposter syndrome. That
Yes,
this is one thing where this is one thing many women will struggle with this right now, and the feeling of like you don't deserve your success and that you are like faking it or something. So I think in the confidence thing, this one thing which we know that we are doing it with all our best efforts and everything, we deserve that. But still this feeling of like you don't deserve it, that which society gives us, so that also
exactly.
kind of alters the confidence that we have.
क्योंकि बचपन से हमें बोला ही नहीं जाता ना, we are not told that you are worth it. We are not told that you can actually achieve it. What we are told is कि अरे भाई लोग हैं या घर में whoever the male is. So the males are responsible for doing everything, for earning the bread, for feeding you, for feeding the whole family. You are just made to serve everybody. So that service kind of mindset is within us when we are just 3 4 years old, and we are conditioned to just serve people. So when we actually get something for ourselves, when we actually do something, we feel like okay, mil gaya, achanak se mil gaya. It must be destiny. Otherwise, how can I be capable of, getting something or earning something? So, वो mindset हो जाता है. We are conditioned like that we are not able to accept our own strengths, and we are not able to accept that yes, we can actually achieve something in life.
Ma'am, I would like to give in one such input from my life. Coming from a very small town, I belong to a joint family from my parents' side, and there was no, I don't have an aunt. Like my father, there are five brothers. So, the moment when I started realizing that, okay, life has to be like this. So I was conditioned that I have to get married immediately after my 10th. And I was a rebel. I badly wanted to study. And yes, my parents, my mom and dad stood like a pillar for me against the family, and they helped me study. They supported me in all my decisions. But जो distant family में होता है, they everybody said that all your buas have got married and we are going to get you engaged and we are going to get you married. I somehow managed to study under this pressure. But then my grandmother used to come and tell me that no matter, even if you become the prime minister of the country, you have to serve food to your husband. So, that's how women are conditioned. And I used to be like, if I'm working, I don't think kitchen and I anywhere are going to have a connection between each other. She said, no matter what you do, men want service from their wives.
Right.
So you cannot feed him your books. You need to learn, how things work in the kitchen. And I actually had no idea how to cook and, do anything in the kitchen. But yes, life had plans for me, and I did study, and, with the help of my parents. And I am where I am because of my parents today.
Your parents have been very supportive in that way, and girls
Yes.
who have such parents, they are actually lucky. Seriously, right?
My dad actually wanted me to be financially independent. He actually struggled very hard to go against the family, against हमारे छोटे से टाउन में ना no girl used to study. Like 15-16 years में they used to get married. So I was the first one to have scored really well in my 10th examinations, where I was actually felicitated in the Gurdwara that I'm the first girl child who's actually trying to get the community forward. And now, if I look back at my time, the struggle that I made, today my cousins, they said that Didi, we used to look upon you. And
हाँ.
my cousins are all of my girl cousins, they're all of them are educated. Koi CA, koi CS, koi dentist, everybody is studying. So all those chachus and uncles who used to oppose my studies, today they're supporting their own daughters. Okay, so you're doing something good, and you should be financially independent now. No matter which house you get married to, no matter where you are, girls should be working.
पता है ये भी एक बहुत अच्छी बात है जब हम ऑब्स्टिकल्स को चैलेंजेस को फेस करके आगे बढ़ते हैं और जहाँ पे सब लोगों ने सोचा होता है कि नहीं हो पाएगा नहीं कर पाएगी
Uncle, he one thing in his mind, I will not stop you from doing anything. Today, you're my girl, you're my daughter. And if I stop you, and tomorrow, if you're what you actually, your life is a waste. So live your life when you're with me. I'll be your strength. And I used to wear whatever I would like, be it anything, shorts, anything. And now all my cousins, they are following the same footsteps. Now nobody has a problem in the family, or in fact, even in the town, that I started breaking those barriers, that girls are allowed to live, we are allowed to breathe, we want to do things, we want to wear what we will wear, and we will do what we want to do. We have that equal right to think about our lives.
Saloni, would you like to add something? I would love to get insights that when we talk about leadership and we talk about confidence, so what are those experiences and what are those steps or actions that actually help in building confidence amongst females who are actually struggling these kind of problems in the society? So most of us who was over here, they have actually faced those things और उन्हीं चीजों से learn किया है हमने. We have faced struggles, we have overcome them, we have learned through all those small victories all along the way. And that's the way, that's why we actually believe in our capabilities. छोटी छोटी चीजों में जब हम जीते, every victory increased our confidence, self-confidence, and love in ourselves. And that has actually increased the level of our strength. That's the reason आज हमें लगता है कि yes, we can do everything. Why? Because if we could do all those things in times when we were struggling, अभी तो हमारे अंदर बहुत क्षमता है, अभी तो हम बहुत strong हैं. So I would love to, listen stories where people have actually struggled against something and won that struggle, and that struggle actually made them more confident and strong.
Ruchi ma'am, I would like to add something.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the talks, beautiful, insights from everybody. What I have noticed, I mean, I have a story to tell, maybe later I'll discuss that. But I don't know, many of us, while growing, we are not actually looking for leaders. Like for men, when they are growing, they're always looking for leaders. That my boss will be good, my father will be good, my uncle, somebody will help me to run the business, to do this. We are not conditioned to look for a leader. So it happened with me in the age of, I think, 39 to 40, when I started thinking that, okay, I need to look for a leader or a mentor. Actually, the mentor I want to learn from. We get leaders, we get mentors, we are not, looking for. Like my mother, father, sometime, and not every leader can, fill your needs. my daughter, yesterday she came to me. She came with a plastic ring. She got it from some sweet packet and she said, Mama, somebody will win me with this ring. I said, what do you mean? She said, somebody will put this ring and win me. I said, with this plastic ring? She said, yes. I said, no, this is very cheap, just as a joke. She said, do we need a expensive ring? I said, nobody can win you with any amount of ring or anything. Anybody who wants to win you have to be with you. And he can be exactly like you. If you want to cook, he can cook with you. If you want to dance, he should dance with you, not allow you to dance. We are growing in a culture where we think working is an extra privilege we get in a family. My husband allows me to work, my father allows me to work. That kind of princess of my father. Because he allows me to go out, because he allows me to do this. We never think, do we really need the permission? Why my brother never needed any permission? Why he never used the word aloud, and how come I'm using this word so often every time I sit? When I meet with my friends, I'm a single mom. I meet with them, and it's a common question I ask: do you think marriage is very important? Yes, yes, it's very important. You have to be married, you get good wives, you get connected. I said, okay, I understand. What if I don't want to? They said, then you'll be an alien. So if you want to be a successful woman, I think you have to be an alien. And aliens are very rare, and everybody is looking after, looking for aliens. When we spot aliens somewhere, we say, yeah, we found alien. And everybody is looking for that. And I think I became an alien when I met Ruchi ma'am. She guided me. She is like my inspiration, not in a way that I want to impress her. Sometimes we have disagreements, and then she said, no, you have to do like this. I go back and think whether I want to take this or I don't want to take it. So I come back to her, I don't want to take it. She said, okay, you have to take like this, you have to do like this. And I condition my brain, okay, this is the leader I want. This is how I want to be. I don't want to impress her, but whenever she'll see spot somewhere Rashmi, she'll be like, okay, this is my mentor. I taught her. She is an alien. This is my alien. I mean, all the women here, I think the time has arrived that we have to become an alien. We are not different, but in this world where men sometime we call chauvinism or whatever, I think the paradigm shift has already started, because we are new generation. We have learned a lot from whatever has happened in the past, and now we are here to tell our daughters that nobody can win you with a plastic ring, or even a diamond ring. Put a ring on my finger is an old song now, because you can be partners. Marriage means partners. Any kind of, if I have a friend who is my partner, I'm happy. He doesn't have to give me a ring. And same things I do with my daughter. My daughter never says thank you to anybody. Sometimes she gets scolding for that. Laureen, why don't you say thank you? Because I never taught her to say thank you every minute. Why should somebody gifted her something the other day, and she said, the person said, Laureen, say thank you. She said, you are happy you gave me the gift? She said, yeah. Then you should say thank you if you're happy. You know, if I made you happy by taking the rose you gave me on Valentine's Day, then you should be saying thank you. I said, Lauren, it's a courtesy. Now you can say thank you. So this is the thing, we have to make them very strong. That say thank you when you actually feel that, oh my God, thank you so much. And it should not come every second, which I have been learning because I was conditioned in NGO and since the childhood. Say thank you, say sorry, say thank you, say sorry. And it's like, it has made my life like a beggar. Even though I have a lot of money, the mentality was always like a slave. So to break this mentality of slave, you need to realize that, okay, I choose to be an alien. I want to be nice to both community, men and women. I am a different one because at the moment we don't have many aliens with us. One day will have a lot of aliens which will be called like independent women or empowered women. That is the only thing I want to add here. Later in the discussion, maybe I can jump in and say more. Thank
Can
you.
I can I also add few things?
Yeah,
Yeah,
please do.
I'm traveling, so maybe there is a voice in the back. two things basically. The first thing I would like to reflect on is what the previous speaker said about daughters, and I think one of the most important things is that the women that have sons have to teach their sons how to actually communicate, how to nurture, and how to stimulate their wives grow, because the growth in the matrimony is actually growth of two people. It's not only on the of either of the spouses. And it doesn't matter that the woman is more successful than the man, which is in my case. Never ever I have sensed from my husband any animosity or competition or anything. He just said, you are the one that is more forward thinking. You are the one that is doer, proactive. I will follow you. I mean, to do that, he must have been raised by his mother that he should respect his wife. Otherwise, this wouldn't be possible. And this is how I also grow my son. I say, if he throws things around, I mean, from simple things, I say, no woman of this age will go and pick up your stuff. You have to do it yourself. You have to help with everything, with food, with kids, with everything. Because good spouses should not be examples and, in 100 men said that, oh, this is the kind of husband I would like to have. No, we should share everything because we are totally equal. Nobody says that nobody is, above the other. And this is one of the things that I wanted to reflect. So it's up to us, and it's our responsibility as mothers, but also as couples, to raise our sons in a way that they respect and support women. The other thing, for example, what I already reflect on what was already said, that we need to support each other, especially if we are coming from smaller towns, smaller places, villages, where we know it's a little bit more about tradition, not that much freedom and who wants to do everything. It's very important that we set women role models for anybody. Because I had a role model when I was growing up. My mother, she's a great mom, everything, but my aunt, 40 years ago, she was one of the first women in the country that got an engineering degree. She was one of the first women to travel by plane. She was like, when I saw that everybody bowed in front of her, I said, gosh, this woman has a power. Where is her power? She wasn't beautiful. She wasn't tall. She was very smart. So we should set role models of all sizes and types for our younger leaders to become, I would say. So this is also our responsibility. Thank you.
No, that's actually role models, mentors, people we can look up to. They play a very important part in our lives, actually in shaping our character, our future, our personality. And that's the reason we are always looking for aspiring leaders, even in our organization. You all of those who are working with me, they know that I'm always giving roles where you can actually prove your leadership, you can build your confidence, you can have faith on yourself that yes, I can do it. और मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि ठीक है, क्या होगा, ज्यादा से ज्यादा गलती हो जाएगी. So even if you make mistakes, it's okay. People learn from mistakes. Failures are an integral part of our journey. So even if you fail in one thing, two things, four things, in the fifth thing, when you succeed, all those failures will not even matter. I have experienced this hundreds of times in my life. I do 10 things, 9 out of them fail. But that one thing where we succeed is actually something जो सारी चीजों को ढक देती है. फिर हम आगे बढ़ जाते हैं उसी एक चीज पे. one more thing that see 90% of the fields, and it's not their fault actually, men's fault. uh, from the starting, from when we were cavemen, men were responsible to do all the hunting, to bring the food to the table, and women were taking care of children and home and everything. So from our genetics, from our generations, we are conditioned, and there are stereotypes. But then ages are changing. Today's world is actually not that caveman world. All of us, we are working, and in fact, if we have to give a good life to our children, both of the partners have to work. So we'll have to break those stereotypes wherein in the male dominated fields, the what women want to say, they are not even heard. So initially हमें struggle करना पड़ेगा. We'll have to fight against it. We'll have to, voice our ideas. We'll have to back them with proofs, with logic. We'll have to build the credibility. मेरी भी बात किसी ने नहीं सुनी शुरू में. मतलब 5-6 साल तक in the fintech industry, people thought कि what can a woman do? They don't even know how to calculate profits or how to calculate commission. So I had to prove myself with my good work, with my hard work, with my smart work. And then that credibility was built. And then people thought, oh, she is something. And then they wanted to work with me. And today, everybody knows that the way we are respected and the way in the industry we have made our position. So if you want to be a future leader, in the initial years, you will have to push yourself. You'll have to assert your confidence. You'll have to voice your ideas. You'll have to back them, with data, with logic. And then you'll get that respect from your peers. And certainly you'll get that respect from your peers. ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं होता. मैं एग्जाम्पल मुझे दूर जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. It took me 10 years, but then after 10 years, I was everywhere. So no matter what is your past, one thing, your past doesn't make your future. What you do today is actually shaping your reality tomorrow. So whatever, kahan se aaye aap, where you were born, which city, which family, which caste, which country, doesn't even matter. If you have that confidence that yes, you can do something, if you feel that your actions can inspire someone, and if you can see your future self, that okay, this is what I want to be 10 years after, then your actions are inspired by that future self imagination, and that leadership and that confidence automatically radiates through your energy. Poonam,
Yes.
you also want, you can share your story as well.
Yeah, of course, I wanted to share, but before that, I think I can see Saloni and Dr. Rajeshwari has raised their
Sure,
hand.
sure.
Yeah.
Please, Carol.
Yeah, it seems Poonam is a very good listener. But still, I would like to share my story. When I joined first as a tutor in a medical college, there were so many vacancies. And anatomy, human anatomy, which we teach for the medical students, it is one of the very challenging subject. And as I joined, I was applying for some other subject, which I liked. But I was given the human anatomy. You teach human anatomy, they said. And I was a little reluctant at that time because I was a vegetarian, and I really, as a medical student, I learned it. But yet, to teach it was a very challenging thing for me. And being a vegetarian, to dissect the cadavers and all, I was very hesitant. But yet somebody from the staff insider, she said to me that, see, Rajeshwari, you are a Brahmin, you are a vegetarian, so they are offering you this subject. So I said, oh, is this so? Then I will accept the challenge. I came out of my comfort zone, and then I started teaching this subject. And to my surprise, within a few years, I became a lecturer, and again, within a short time, I became a professor as well. And there was the fruits for this, sacrifice or coming out of the comfort zone. So this happens with every woman, not me, but every woman is challenged in her career just because she has some comfort zones. And at the same time, during some period, somebody also, some colleagues, they used to, comment that you are a double engine, your husband is earning, you are earning. So what? I am doing my hard work. I used to look after my children who were very small at that time, and do the household work, and then manage the college. All the extracurricular activities I was given. Even when the external examiners used to come, they used to send me along with them to have the lunch. So as a company, and these external examiners used to have the non-vegetarian food. So in this way, I tried to, accommodate everything which was a discomfort for me. Why is it a challenge only for women? That's the question I need to ask all of you. I know that all of you might have been going through this even now. So why this only for women?
Yes, Saloni.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank Poonam ma'am for adding me to Empowered Women. I am very grateful. And let me tell you, we just connected through LinkedIn. And I really appreciate the way she connects with someone and the value chain aspect she has in her, that she keeps on following up and make sure you become a strong part of a community. So
Thank you.
Poonam ma'am, kudos to you. I am here
Thank
because
you
of
so
you,
much.
because
Thank
of
you.
the way you do things.
Thank you.
And I'm very happy to finally, listen to Ruchi ma'am. I have heard a lot about you. I've read a lot about you. I've seen your website, the great work you are doing. I'm so happy to be a part of women who think so differently. First of all, I was listening to the whole conversation. The reason being, I'm not married right now. So I'm gaining experience from Rajeshwari ma'am or Rashmi ma'am, learning what people are thinking and how, life transforms or changes. Uh, just as a thought process or something which changed my mindset or even was mentioned by my team was, we always see leadership as a skill. And whenever we think about a skill is something which you might forget if you stop doing it. For example, if you play tabla, you are a very good tabla artist. For 5 years you are playing, then you stop for the next 10 years. Maybe after that, you will you might not have the skill of playing tabla. But that's not the sense of leadership. Once you are a leader, I don't think you can forget how to be one. So, for example, if we are in this meeting, there is a sound problem from the back, or somebody is not muting and Ruchi ma'am is talking, Poonam ma'am might not need a message from Ruchi ma'am, please maintain the discipline in the room. She would naturally do it. So, I believe leadership is something which is not skill oriented, it is individual oriented, and it truly comes within. It's somebody's personality, someone's mindset. And leadership is mostly influenced by the exposure you get. Um, Today we are talking, we are exchanging ideas, we are broadening our exposure. More you travel, more people you connect, you expand your exposure. Very similarly, if I talk about my journey, I used to see myself as an average, unsuccessful, not visually that appealing individual. When I was in my school days, I was bullied, or I used to not be very comfortable in my skin. I never won any award. And my dad used to send me to every competition possible which used to happen in the city. And at that time, I used to cry and crib. I used to always think that I'm not made to stage and I won't be able to do anything in my life. I went on an exchange program through Rotary after my 12th grade, and I went to US for 1 year, and actually I started accepting myself more when I saw so much of diversity. And I truly feel that more than being a gender difference, more than being a girl or a boy or a woman or a man thing, it's an individual journey where you find your purpose in the society. And that 1 year in US gave me a lot of confidence. I went on stage, I accepted myself, the way I look or the way I talk, my thought process. It gave me a lot of voice, came back. Currently, I work in three verticals. I have three companies I manage. I'm sitting in my office. And I literally, the journey is a lot detailed, but I have learned from it that a lot of times you don't need to acquire skills, you just need to believe that you can do it. And more keep on doing it, you get naturally good at it. So you have to give yourself time. um, I realized the failures I had when I was very young, today it helps me a lot. That earlier I used to cry that why I have 400 participation certificates and I never won a trophy. I used to even lose a fancy dress. And that fancy dress was also between like 15 people and I used to lose it. So I was like, what is the mantra to win something? But the mantra was, once you accept yourself, once you believe in yourself, once you voice yourself, you truly go on that path where then you don't need to feel smaller in a bigger group. I studied in a very reputed school in my city, and I used to feel very small of myself that I'm not that good enough. I'm not the topper, I'm not good at sports, I'm not good at cultural things. But when I started accepting, I know that how to sit between 25 leaders and still have a voice today. So a lot of failures help you. You need to accept that there can be more than one leader in the world. It's not a monarchical system. There one leader is not the solution to everything. So you have to coexist. You need to build a value chain of leaders, and leadership is at the most, it's not a skill. It's a mindset, it's exposure which comes to you, and then you feel very secure even when you sit with people who have achieved so much in their life and you still feel that they have achieved and something, it's to inspire from them, and you're very secure from what you have done, because we all come from different houses, different situations. We want to be equal, but the situation of the life is such that nobody can be equal. We come from very different backgrounds. We don't know where our life will take us ahead, and but still we are taking steps forward, and it's a very personal journey, irrespective of your gender, your caste, your creed, anything. You grow as per yourself. So my the only other thing I would like to conclude that I hope people don't see leadership as a skill. They mostly see it as a mindset. And if you have that mindset, it's a personal, I can give my personal example. I was not that good. I have my journey from being in search of a stage to be on stage, and now I am making stage for people to come and younger generations to come front through my startups, what I do now. It's it has been that reciprocation. So you don't need an acquired skill, you just need to believe in yourself, have a broadened mindset, and go in that direction. I'm
Very
sorry if I took a bit longer for time.
We were actually discussing this with Ritika, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, that be delusional. Just think about yourself as a very powerful and insightful and a strong person. And she gave me a quote. Ritika है यहाँ पे कॉल पे है? Ritika, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
क्या था वो कोट जरा बताओ तो. आज तो
वो जेन जी का स्लैंग था एक,
हाँ.
डेलुलु इज द सलुलु.
So being delusional is the solution. I researched on it that being delusional is the solution. So if you are delusional, if you even if you're not that kind of a person at present, but if you feel that this is your future, and if you feel that this is the kind of strength and this is the kind of person you want to become, and accept yourself as that, then naturally in a few days from now you will actually get into that reality. So, and one more thing I feel is that once you get that reality of your life, then comes your role of actually uplifting others. So as leaders, we actually carry a very profound responsibility. And this is not just to succeed individually, but to pave the way for others also. So it's not only about personal achievement कि हाँ मैंने कर लिया हो गया. So it's about actually creating opportunities and then breaking barriers and ensuring that the next generation of leaders, they have that same kind of guidance and support and encouragement that they need to thrive. मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर हमें मिल गया, then it's the time to give back to the society and to actually strengthen others also. And that has actually become the motive of my life. So I feel that, okay, if I couldn't get the resources when I needed them, and if today I'm capable of giving those resources to other children who are in the same kind of situation, and who, if I support with a small step, can actually, get their potential out and achieve everything in their lives, तो ये मेरे लिए बड़ी बात है. अगेन वो अभी बोला था रश्मि ने कि थैंक यू, मैं क्यों बोलूं, थैंक यू तो आप बोलो, आपको खुशी, तो मुझे लिटरली खुशी मिलती है इससे. आई फील हैप्पी, आई फील कंटेंटेड, आई फील that, okay, this is the purpose of my life. If I'm giving a platform to a person and where he can actually survive and thrive and get the best out of his capabilities, तो फिर मुझे actually thank you बोलना पड़ेगा उनको that you're giving me this happiness, because this happiness is making me complete as a person. So this is something which I feel. अच्छा, यहाँ पे मैंने देखा अभी कोमल थी. कोमल, कोमल है ना यहाँ? Yes.
Yeah, yes. Komal?
कोमल, you there? मेरे ख्याल से है नहीं. पूनम, पूनम सुन, पूनम, how has been this experience for you in last 12 years?
Well,
Since
मेरे भी बहुत सारे experiences हैं. Right, when I came from India to study over here for masters, I remember there is an incident what has happened. I will definitely share it with you all because now I want to share it. क्या हुआ था कि हमारा जो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट एक को सब्जेक्ट था, एंड इन दैट project management we have like four of them are Britishers and one was from Sri Lanka. All of them are boys and I was the only girl who was in that project. So that is where I think I faced the challenge as a girl. तो एक और कंट्री में आके मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं था, ये सोचा था कि शायद ये इंडिया में होता है, बट दैट इज नॉट ट्रू, दैट वाज नॉट ट्रू. So I remember that we have given a project where some of them were also experienced. They have their practical experiences, and then they came for the studies. तो उसमें से कुछ जो लड़के थे वो पूछ रहे थे कि does she have enough experience? Maybe we should have someone who is more senior, leading this. सो बट इंस्टेड उस टाइम पे मुझे था कि मुझे प्रोफेसर्स के सामने प्रेजेंट करना है. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ रिएक्टिंग इमोशनली, आई टैकल्ड इट वेरी स्ट्रैटेजिकली. सो व्हाट आई डिड इज आई एड्रेस्ड every concern with logic and data, and then I backed my strategy uh, with numbers and facts where I can. That was the only win-win situation for me because they are in a group, they are all boys and I was the only girl. Then I presented a clear roadmap. So that is where I, the same mindset I use at work, and in fact I apply at home as well, because being a mother, I think instead of panicking, focus on the solutions, I feel. So that was one of my biggest, test came when I had a critical, um, um, presentation scheduled, and on the same, once happened, I think I did it in a very facts, and I presented, and the professors were very, very, impressed by the presentation, and they took my name, that Poonam, you did a very, and I was not experienced that time. I completed my engineering, and I was not the experienced one. So after that appreciation, I think I felt very much confident, and that was the small steps of building confidence inside me. That was the biggest impact inside me. So confidence, I think personally, confidence isn't something you wake up with. It will build over time, small steps at a time. And that is how, honestly, after becoming a mother, self doubt always increase, that am I doing enough as a mother? Am I balancing my work and home correctly? But one day I realized, if something scares you, um Don't see it as a failure, see it as a challenge. So I will also give another example. We had a meeting, and what was the worst could happen was, my little one, my son, he was sick and he felt ill. So what I did is I make him sleep. I give him medicine, make him sleep, and then I opened the laptop. I was in front of the meeting. I was doing all this stuff, and with a smile. So that is what we can do as a women. We can multitask everything very strategically, on the time, on the spot. We can spontaneously, we can change ourselves. So that is what I feel, we have that potential inside us. And what we lack is in outside, nobody is giving praising us in that way what we
Rec-
deserve. Yes.
Recognition is the problem. Yes.
Yes, recognition is the problem. We never get that recognition, even if we are doing loads and loads of thing in one day. In one day, we are taking care of house, we are taking care of children, we are taking care of our work, but still, we I think nobody is saying कि आज तुमने कितना किया. Nobody. We just take it कि ये तो हमें करना ही था. Even we, as a women, we feel in that way कि हमने ये कर लिया and it's not a big deal. हम उस चीज को कहीं ना कहीं दबा रहे हैं. आई फील कि हम अपने आप को रिकॉग्नाइज करें और रिकॉग्निशन ज्यादा दे, अप्रिशिएट करें खुद को. देन ओनली द पीपल आउटसाइड they will appreciate you. आई फील मोर women शुड अप्रिशिएट वट एवर हम छोटी सी भी चीज करते ना. अगर आई फील कि मैन अगर थोड़ी छोटी सी चीज करते हैं, देन वी फील एज अ women कि बहुत कर रहे हैं. बट दैट इज नॉट ट्रू. आई फील द men should equally feel in that same way as we are feeling. तो कहीं ना कहीं मेंटली माइंडसेट ही नहीं है वो चीज, एज अ मतलब मेल एंड
Have
फीमेल.
accepted being overlooked.
हाँ.
We have accepted the lack of visibility. We
Yes.
have accepted recognition. We have accepted. अच्छा क्या हुआ कि last generation से अभी तक. So we have accepted कि okay, we have to do the house chores also. We have to look after the children. We have to do a job. हमारा professional life भी है. But if our husband goes into the kitchen and makes 2 cups of coffee, we are like, wow,
Wow.
कॉफी बनाई तुमने.
Something outstanding has been done. Yes. Yes.
I
वो
feel
कॉफी बनाना इज एकदम बिल्कुल आउट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. हम सुबह 5 बजे से लेके रात को 3 बजे तक भी काम करें तो इट्स नॉर्मल यार, ये तो तुम्हारा काम था.
Yes, that is it. Yes.
I feel the
Let me
mantra
add
for
to this.
every woman should be that, we are unstoppable. I believe motherhood itself teaches us so many things, bearing a little human inside you. I don't think men do that, the kind of pains we go through. And post that, the amount of workload that increases. कौन रात रात भर जागता है बच्चों के साथ? A man cannot do it.
No, and
Diapers and you, no matter how many nannies you keep, a mom is never at rest.
never. Yes, true. And that too, you will also end up listening कि ये तो सब करते हैं. ये
Yeah,
तो
हाँ.
what's
सब.
different that you're doing? It's a part of
Yes.
how women are conditioned.
See, sisters, I would like to add one thing. When we say that we are proud of our tasking skills, even one day I was. I used to do multitasking, but it is exploited. Your multitasking skills are exploited. You are
I
also a
agree.
human body, you're also a human mind, and one day it can't tolerate that fatigue. So never show that you are multitasking, that, this, you can do this, you can do that. And this mistake we usually do in our professional careers. The same thing I did, and I suffered a lot out of it. When I was working, I was offered a post of principal, and I joined a college, medical college, which was just, in the start, beginning. So there were already 2, 3 batches, and there were multiple faculties: pharmacy, Ayurvedic, homeopathic, and GNM nursing, BSc nursing, and all these faculties were there. And as I was skilled in teaching, the president knew that I could teach all these subjects. Right from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5:30, 6 o'clock, I was continuously rotating in the classes. Imagine the condition. And apart from that, managing the administration, hospital, and everything. It was a very suffocating thing for me, and I used to literally be tired. Every fortnight there was an inspection. I used to stay up in the college till midnight, 12:30. So it was intolerable until I fell sick and I was not offered a leave. When I applied for the leave, I didn't even get a leave. I was bleeding for almost 15 days. And then I took a leave and got out for the investigations, and I found that I was suffering from cancer. And surgery was done, and I was not given the payment for 15 days. And immediately after 15 days, again I rejoined. So this is the condition you exploited until my family member said that you're tolerating too much, mom. Please don't rejoin, leave the college and come back. And then I resigned and I came back. Literally, I fled from the college because the president was not giving me the relieving letter. So this was my condition. So never say that I can do the multiple tasking. Never say that. Even if you can do, you do it for yourself, but not for the professional or careers. It's not good for you.
Dr. Rajeshwari, I am really impressed with your story. Literally, what you said that we should not do multitasking, and I'm against it. I said multitasking is criminal. I have written in my table. So my daughter says, why multitasking is criminal? So I made her ki tum na, you write multitasking and then write criminal. Don't and then write 1 to 10. जब हम ऐसे लिखते हैं ना मल्टीटास्किंग इट्स वेरी इजी बट व्हेन यू डू इट वन बाय वन बैकवर्ड इट इज वेरी हार्ड सो व्हेन यू फोकस ऑन वन टास्क एंड यू थिंक कि मैं यही कर सकती हूँ मैं नहीं कर सकती बहुत सारे काम इसको मैं परफेक्टली करूंगी सो मैं अभी आई वाज लिसनिंग टू एवरीबॉडी आई हैव फ्यू पॉइंटर्स लाइक राजेश्वरी यू हैव आस्क्ड कि व्हाई women है ना व्हाई women I remember you end up your conversation with why women because no appreciation we look for appreciation other than us कि मतलब we want people to appreciate us how
External
often do we appreciate ourselves we do never appreciate we are the victim because we are making ourselves a victim you know the transition starts when you move from victim to survival you know you when as a victim you relive your life every day and one fine day you think okay enough now I've healed and that happens with the proper leadership you have proper mentors it doesn't happen on your own it cannot it's not possible and it will not happen with medicines certainly I've tried it it only happens with the right kind of people you are attached to in a community and it happens when you're looking for the solution when you're not looking for a solution and you want to relive the past and you don't want to get out of it you're not looking for a solution then you can never be a survivor once you become a survivor you think okay I lived my past I want to help others I enjoy my past let's see the other person should not get hurt by that the same incident I have traveled a path I must share it because the other person might drive from the same road and I want to tell them hey there's a stop it take a turn so as a leader you always there to guide them so for me how I became a survivor from victim because I chose to survive I stopped pitying myself. I stopped being victim, and that was my choice. Nobody can take you out of the victim mentality. It is you who have to do it. Appreciation, yes. Victim mentality, we have to give it. Like it or not, we have to accept that as a woman, we think we are victim because we are made to think like that from the society. But we have to alienate ourselves from the society. We have to do it. Self doubt, yes, we doubt ourselves a lot most of the time. Am I a good mother? Am I a good manager? Am I this? Am I that? That is what we are doing. Nobody else is telling you every day. We sell ourselves, we undersell ourselves for too much. We undersell every day. Why women, like Ruchi ma'am said, in the old time, men used to hunt and women used to cook. My daughter asked me when we first moved to India, why men used to go and hunt and women sit in the house and cook. I said, women are more responsible. They know what to do with the resources. Men just bring any garbage in the house. Women know how to settle that up. You know, when you become a mother, you learn from questions. I never ignore my daughters or sons any questions. I enjoy and I don't answer them right away. I said, let me research it. I'll come back to you 8 p.m. tonight. Because as a child, she'll come back to me again. Ma'am, Mama, what happened? And sometime when I sleep, I said, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. She said, look at you. You're telling yourself you're beautiful. You never tell me. I said, you tell yourself. We both are beautiful. Then she said, oh my God, we both are so beautiful. And then we sleep. So we have to tell our children to say every night before sleeping, we are damn good. We are pretty. We are beautiful. And when she draws me fat. I said, don't draw me like that. Draw me like a Barbie. Because that's how I feel inside. I'm Barbie, you know. So you draw me what I feel. And I accept it. I just say, okay, check, good. Good card I can accept. So you become what you think you are. You become victim if you want to be victim. You become a survivor if you want to be survivor. You have to choose your company. I go back to the childhood. उसके साथ खेलो जो अच्छे बच्चे, and it applies damn correctly throughout your life. You have to choose your company. We forget while we're growing. We are so much busy in earning for a bread, surviving, looking for a house, that we forget the first lesson our mother taught us, or the teacher, or the neighbor, somebody taught us. Be with the company who make you grow, you know. Leave the people who are not happy with you immediately, like a reflex, like the feel current laga, aap bilkul bhag gaye. It's okay. If I have two people with me, I'm happy. But if I have too many people who are giving me shock every day, I'll die with the mental shock one day. So it's better to be with two or three people with a very content and a small life, with only dal and rice, and then good night, I'm very pretty. So I think I've answered Rajeshwari's question. I was very keen to answer.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very well explained. No, victim mindset, that comes only when we have expectations. And, and these expectations, when they are not fulfilled, and at that time we get the victim mindset. In fact, everything which we face in our life is a lesson. If we take it as a lesson and then we learn something and then prevent that mistake being done again, we never have that victim mindset. That's what I feel.
And I'll also add little tweaks to it. Like जब लोग हमारी जगह define करने लगे, तो वो अपना narrative ही change कर लो, खुद लिख लो, in fact. Yeah. So final thought, मेरे लिए मतलब जो leadership है, life will always throw challenges. You cannot avoid that. So whether at work or at home, or in a society. So, but the secret for this is, it's not avoiding the challenges. It is learning how to face them, adapt, and rise stronger. So that is what I think leadership is all about. What do you say, women's ladies? So
Can I
beautiful.
add something?
Anji.
First of all, I would like to congratulate you guys on your empowered woman.
Oh,
I
thank
am sick of listening women empowerment because I don't think women needs to be empowered. We are already empowered, and I'm very happy the name of the group is Empowered Women. Next, when Rashmi ma'am was explaining me and that word victim kind of reminded me, a lot of leadership resonates with empathy and sympathy. And in a life of any, mostly women, we go through a lot of sympathetic conversations where we are consoled a lot of times. And that consoling never takes away the problem, but makes you feel you are more of a victim. So, for example, if anyone is crying and I go and tell them, why are you crying? You shouldn't cry. Be a strong person, etc., etc. Um, the he's not going to stop crying. I'm not that inspirational. Even if I'm inspirational, the cry will only stop with a handkerchief, or when the person goes and washes his or her face. That empathetic conversation truly misses in a generic sense. So when we talk about leadership, we have to also understand around how we see sympathy and empathy as, because a lot of time we are mostly sympathetic and we end up having pity or having a victim like status in that kind of a scenario. We should be more empathetic where we talk about solutions. I remember this conversation when I lost my dad. I had a lot of friends reaching out to me, and I was, mad about people saying ki it's okay, it happens. You lose a father, it's fine, you will learn to deal with it. And he was medically not fit. He's in a better space now, but my mind was not able to, you know,
Process.
listen to and grab that. It's like, he is my father. How can I be okay in a day or so? And there were 100 sympathetic calls. I remember I recently became a district official in one group, and I was looking forward for a call from there. And when I got a call of person who was the next president, I used to call him Bhaiya, and he was like, the reason I didn't call you for the 4 days was I have never seen death. I don't know how it feel like. Therefore, I was not calling you. I was scared to talk to you. But I hope you're doing okay. And the moment when he accepted that he doesn't know how it feels, and he gave a very empathetic response, I felt humanly that okay, I can talk to this person. More the conversation went ahead, he asked me, because you have lost your dad, family would be here, do you want me to send you some money? You want to have some money, you can pay me back, that's not a problem. But when that conversation went ahead, I realized that a lot of times we keep empathy aside, and if we keep empathy aside, we are not talking solutions. So, and we are not even connecting with that person. And if you're being empathetic, that means you're being vulnerable, because empathy means stepping into somebody's shoes, and if you step into anyone's shoes, it is going to be uncomfortable, it's vulnerable, you won't like it, you would hate it, you you will feel different, there will be a change. And that's when you say you are a leader, because you did something which nobody does. So when Rashmi ma'am was talking about a lot of victim things, I first of all, I loved the name empowered woman, and it totally justifies when every one of us was talking today. Second, a lot of leadership should drive with empathy, because we have forgotten empathy, we are more sympathetic, and a lot of women things can be addressed if empathy is involved, because we go through so much in our lives, and if we keep on giving sympathy, we might not reach the height we can. And if we start seeing with empathetic approach, we be more solution oriented, and we can do a lot. Like I have only read Ruchi ma'am, your journey from Agra to the person you are being right now in the fintech industry, or what Rajeshwari ma'am said about her journey of reporting back to the college. It's only possible because she was empathetic. So a lot of empathy helps a lot of time to give an outward zoom out way of dealing things.
Very well said, Saloni. I agree with you. This empathy. Empathy is one of the feature of the leadership. A true leader usually has the empathy as his prime skill. You find, while you read many books of most of the leaders, they have come from a background of suffering and pain, either self-suffering or pain and suffering around them, the circumstances which they felt, that people are suffering around them, and they can feel deep in their heart, and they became the leaders out of it. So empathy is one of the prime thing which a leader should have to,
Absolutely.
One more
There is no book without stories.
no.
So if you want to be someone great, you have to have stories.
और एम्पैथी और सिंपैथी में एक बेसिक जो डिफरेंस है वो ये कि सिंपैथी में कोई एक्शन नहीं है. यू आर जस्ट सेइंग कि यू आर जस्ट पिटिंग अ पर्सन, अरे बेचारे के साथ ये हो गया, अरे आप कुछ करोगे नहीं उसके लिए, क्योंकि आप रेस्पॉन्सिबल ही नहीं मानते उस चीज के लिए. आप बोलोगे कि भाई मेरी रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थोड़ी ना है कि उसके साथ ऐसा हो गया, अब हो गया तो हो गया, अरे बेचारा उसकी किस्मत ही खराब थी, हो गया. व्हेन द पर्सपेक्टिव शिफ्ट्स फ्रॉम सिंपैथी टू एम्पैथी, और जब, as you said, that you are actually in their shoes, then you understand the pain, the struggle, the emotion that the other person is going through. और फिर आपको कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, आपके अंदर से वो चीज आती है कि यार, if I have the capability to actually ease the situation of the person, then I have to do it, I must do it, because I won't be able to ignore that emotion. आपको कोई बोलेगा नहीं वो करने के लिए, आपके अंदर से आपकी आत्मा आवाज देगी कि भाई अगर मैंने इस वक्त नहीं एक्शन लिया, नहीं हेल्प की, तो मुझे रात को नींद ही नहीं आएगी. Why? Because I am feeling that emotion inside me. मेरे को अगर sympathy है तो मैं देखूंगी, ओके अरे इसका हो गया एक्सीडेंट, अरे बेचारा देखो खून निकल रहा है, और बस मेरी गाड़ी आगे बढ़ जाए, बस वहीं पे खत्म हो जाएगी मेरी सिंपैथी। पर जब वही सिंपैथी एम्पैथेटिक बिहेवियर में बदल जाती है, तो अगर मैंने देख लिया, तो until and unless I don't get him to the hospital, मुझे घर पे नींद नहीं आएगी रात। सो दैट्स द बेसिक डिफरेंस। और जब भी हम लोगों की कभी बात होती है, डिस्कशंस होते हैं ऑफिस में या कभी, सो आई एम ऑलवेज टेलिंग माय पीपल दैट कि सिंपैथी मत दिखाओ किसी के लिए मत बोलो अरे वो बेचारा है, कोई बेचारा नहीं है इस दुनिया में, कोई बेचारा नहीं है। लेकिन एम्पैथेटिक रहो कि जहां पे किसी को जरूरत है, और अगर आपके पास वो एडवांटेज है कि आप हेल्प कर सकते हो, तो प्लीज स्टेप इनटू इट, यू गो फॉर इट। दैट्स द डिफरेंस।
वेरी ट्रू। बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है ना मैम, बंद करने का दिल नहीं कर रहा है, 1 घंटा हो गया, 1 hour इज ऑलरेडी डन।
One thing I would like to add is that all sisters here, I have attended many workshops, even faculty development programs and all. We used to have some thing like called as accountability partners. Do you mean, or do you know what's the meaning of it?
Yes.
Like, we are all in different professions. Some are doing some business, or some are in some in their own careers. But how we all may feel sometimes frustrated or feel low. In our some days may be low. But how many of us feel accountable for others' lives? Like the one word which we just spoke about, empathy. Empathy is also related with the accountability partner. When we ask others whom we know, like, hi Saloni, what are you doing now? How's your work going on? No, what's your health? How many of you ask each other about this? So being accountability partner is one thing which all of us ladies should follow to break the barriers and to bring on this empowerment. So it feels we need not do much, we not offer money or any like support, anything, just a one word that how is your work doing on, how's your health, at least speak to each other about this. So at least we feel that somebody is asking us. So this is a great support. I was in one podcast group where we had accountability partners. We used to announce that I'm going to start so and so project this day, and our group, out of which one of them is an accountability partner of mine, will ask, yes, you announced that you're going to start a podcast. How is it doing now? Have you started your first episode? So I'd feel alert, yes, my first podcast, I had to start immediately working on it. It's like a trigger for me or a push for me that, yeah, I have to do this. So how it should be a rule amongst our sisters that we should ask each other about, how we are doing. And that would be a great encouragement for us. So I think we can start this.
Yes, of course. And once we are supporting each other, we are actually uplifting entire communities.
Yeah.
And we'll just mentor and lead and support each other. बहुत अच्छी चीज है। मतलब छोटे ग्रुप्स में we are doing all this.
Yes.
Dr. Rajeshwari, in our organization, we are always standing for each other. मतलब कोई छोटी सी चीज भी, and it's not about women or men or boys and girls, कोई भी हो, तो अगर
कोई भी हो
तो एक फैमिली की तरह we are all
family.
supporting each other and encouraging each other.
I was about to add this that Dr. Rajeshwari, all of us go through something in our lives. Talking about accountability, yes, we do follow this every day, at least in our organization. When we know, somebody has something important, we all are there to, wish them, ask them how was it. If there's somebody sick in the family, we all stand like a family. So it's like actually a family away from the family. It's like the second family in our organization. But yes, as in how we're expanding people that we are getting in touch with, we make sure that we are in regular touch with them. We do wish them for all the festivals. We do ask them. We do join them for their uh, any important dates that they have. We do follow accountability.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
as in how we're
Uh,
expanding our community, we would love
yeah.
to have you join us, and then we can add you for the same.
Correct. This actually, I was talking about people who are working remotely, especially in organizations. This kind of thing goes on. We are accountable for each other. We ask things like how it's going on and all. We support each other. But when a person is on his own, suppose I'm a solopreneur or I'm doing things remotely, I'm practicing telemedicine. Okay, I do other things also. I have my project called as Gargar Homeopathy, where I'm teaching about first aid and the role of homeopathic medicines as first aid. I also create awareness of emergency medical conditions. So this just I started 2 years back. And of course, I'm getting a good response, but I'm also a human being doing all this. I once get tired and then I stop the project. Some domestic personal problems arise, something happens, and then I just drop the project ahead and I do those things. And somewhere I miss the link, that happens. So usually those people who are working remotely face this problem of getting disconnected with their work, and then they become low. And at that time this kind of accountability comes into play, and that helps them. So not only me, but everyone who is doing such kind of work, they need that kind of words, who's asking, somebody's asking them, hey, you started this work, what about it, how's it going on? So then they recollect and then they bounce back. That's what I wanted to say.
Dr. Rajeshwari, me and I, Simran and Poonam, we are working remotely from
Hmm.
different zones. So whenever we have big event, I mean,
Hmm.
Poonam is very far from here. I actually show her video. I video call her to show,
Hmm.
because she has done a lot to make that event successful. And mostly I go to the office, but every day, I think Poonam every day, right? Every alternative days. So I call Simran and Poonam. I simply ask, how are you doing? I make excuses. I don't have much to discuss. I just call them. I just gather something I want to talk, because I can't call them just like that. But I'm looking for an excuse how to connect with these two, because I think it is I'm accountable because we are team.
Yeah.
So we have to ask to check in. Hey, how's the weather? Is it snowing there or not? How's your car? Is it under the snow or outside the snow? So we are following in the, I mean, I'm very blessed to be part of this organization. And you can see that we're very organic. And when you're organic, it can reflect on your face. We have no grievances to share. We only have stories and plans. Some fail, some succeed, but we don't stop planning every day as a
Correct.
team. So I think we are already doing it, and we would love to have you with us and
Sure,
guide
sure,
us more. Yeah.
sure. Do
I
connect
will
with
tell
me
you
on
one such
LinkedIn, as
incident.
well as if you want, I can send you the number if you provide me a source.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
I have
we can
already asked
join together.
Neha, Rajeshwari. I have already asked Neha for your number. So
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
thank you. Well, 1 hour, more than 1 hour हो गया है. If you want to
Yeah, 1.5
carry, we can. But thank you so much who attended this webinar. Your presence, engagement, and insights, made this session very meaningful. And let's continue breaking barriers and empowering each other to lead and inspire change. Yeah, so that is what I have to say. If anyone has to say anything, please.
I've just given my LinkedIn ID and the contact details on this chat itself. So if somebody wants to connect, most welcome.
I will be coming to Delhi